Welcome to episode 27 of the Morning Roast. Real quick, we're going to get the link shared out to our Facebook while we are getting set up so everybody can start tuning in. So, give me 1 second.
Could you be any more quieter?
Am I?
Yeah, you
am
are.
I quiet?
You're trying to be all subtle.
I'm using my interview voice.
Your interview voice?
Yes,
That's your interview voice.
This is my interview voice.
That's your
So-
monotone deep.
Hello, welcome to the Morning Roast.
You could, if you know, we could use your voice as a potential our Reddit on YouTube and shit like that.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
So how was your weekend, Sauce?
Pretty crazy.
How was it crazy?
It's all kinds of crazy.
How so?
Well, from the last episode, I kind of had to take off in a hurry to take care of an issue back home. No, it wasn't that bad, but which is actually great. My girlfriend basically got into an incident with her car.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the only damage that her car suffered was that the bumper got ripped off. But that was it. So there was no actual internal damages or anything like that. So me and my dad, we went to Home Depot, got some metal material, and we just drilled and rivet the damn sucker back on. So.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went out with
Yeah,
Shalina
yeah.
on Thursday.
You
Right.
didn't know I was bringing
Yeah.
Shalina though.
No, I didn't.
No.
I was like, oh, cool. All right.
Explain to them.
I keep on hearing.
Explain to them what happened though before we met up. Freaking it was just like late in the night, and we were just like didn't know what the.
I was trying to get him out all Thursday because I needed to get out of my house. I was done with a lot of I was stressing the fuck out. I've got a lot going on, and I was like, fuck all of this shit. I need to get out. I need to drink. I need to do this, and kept on hitting up Sauce, and I was like, man. You're going out with me tonight. He's like, oh no, I've got other things to do. And I was like,
I did have other things to do.
Okay. So,
You don't
right.
believe me.
Right.
You don't
No,
believe me.
I don't. I don't. And then we eventually I was I conned him into it, and he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna be going to the lighthouse. And I was like, okay, well,
You've never
I'll
been to
meet
the
you
lighthouse.
there.
That was your first time
Yeah,
there.
and my God, that was the whitest washed bar in my life that I've ever been to.
But it's
And the white people were staring at me because I had tattoos on my face. Probably. They were like, the fuck's wrong with this guy?
Is he
like-
lost or something?
Yeah, you're in the wrong bar.
It's
You came to the wrong bar, boy.
Well, I mean, it's karaoke.
Nope.
It's karaoke Thursday, though.
Yeah, and when I walked in, it's like the first person. I wish you were there for it. She sounded like a screaming banshee, no joke. And I'm not putting any emphasis on anything else, but she sounded.
She looked like a
No,
banshee.
she looked like a whale, and she sounded like a screaming banshee.
Oh no!
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
Got him!
This fool.
It was pretty great. It was pretty great.
Yeah. So Muzz was just like he's just sitting at the bar.
And
He's
then-
waiting on my ass. To
Yeah,
come
and I
up.
ordered a drink, and I was like, fuck it, I'll have me a drink. I need a Red Bull and Crown. And then he sends me a message, get over to the hideaway ASAP. And I'm like, what the fuck? Finish up my drink. He calls me back. He's like, oh, I'm gonna meet you there. And I was like, you bitch.
So this is where I come in. So Buzz had no idea that me and Shalina were
I had a
bringing
feeling.
Shalina along. I told him that I was on my way. I was picking up someone real quick, and Shalina was she needed to get out. She too needed to have to just like
It's just been that kind of week.
Yeah, it's
Everything's been very
especially that
tense.
particular night. It was that particular
Yeah.
night. So, so we met at the lighthouse first, and then we quickly got back inside into the lighthouse so that Shalita can sing a song real quick, and then we took off to the hideaway, and we been there since up till the place.
What was that song that she sang? Like I didn't realize what the song was until a certain part of it, and I was like, "Oh, I know that song."
I can't remember the
I
name.
can't
I was
I
like,
can't even remember what the lines were or anything like that.
my mind was elsewhere, but yeah, we went to the hideaway. We had some drinks and like some shit was
And I
about
was
to go
talking with
down
this dude.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking to that black dude the whole time. Me and him were chopping it up, joking. You were there too. You were joking with him too, and we were just clowning with dude and shit like that. And then we almost watched a fight break out over
Yeah,
what?
over a game,
Over a
over
game of
over a game
pool.
of, oh yeah, over a game of pool.
And the guy lost his shit because of the simple fact that the dude fucked up his game. He said word for word. They were like, "Why are you about to fight him? He fucked up my game." Okay, that's pool, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't know what you expect to do. And like he was very like that guy was a weird guy anyways. Like I went up to get a drink and he came up to me and he's like, "Hey." And I was like, "Hey." And he's like, do you know how to spell Shannon? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, spell it. That's my name. Spell it real quick. And I spelt it. Shanon. That's how I spell Shannon. And he was like, I don't like you. And I was like, why? What did I do to you? He's like, you spelled my name right. Nobody ever spells my name right. Takes off, and I'm like, fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, there's that. And,
Felt like I was gonna get abducted, but thank God he had a motorcycle. Like, I don't know what was wrong with his motorcycle, but like I think he had a carburetor issue or something like that.
it is a carbureted bike, so it had to.
Yeah, he needed to clean out his carburetor or something like that.
It's a bit of an old Harley though.
Right.
From the looks of it, that or he did something with the camshaft that made it sound that way. So that plus the weather outside, yeah, it'll take time for it to get back up. Shit.
It was also my son's birthday. This Saturday.
How old is he now?
He's 10 now.
10-year-old booger.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, what happened? Like, did you go to like some place to celebrate, or was it at someone's house?
We went over to Braden's grandma's house. We spent some time over there. They really enjoyed it. His brother and sister were there. During the time, I had to also deal with his mom because, like, his mom wasn't allowed over because
so the baby mama invited herself over.
Well, no, I let her know Friday. I was like, listen, this is where it's gonna be. This is how this is gonna be, and this is what this is. And she's like, oh, well, they don't like me over there. And I was like, well, figure it out with your mom. I don't know what to tell you. And it's a more convenient for us to go over there. So eventually, she called her mom while like midway through and was like, oh, can I come over and see him at least for a little bit? And I was like, I told them, I was like, if that's all she wants to do, that's fine. Like, if she can't come inside, at least let her visit. It is what it is.
I mean, yeah. It's your son. I mean, it's your son's birthday. At least spend like an hour or 30 minutes. Spend some quality time with the kid before leaving or whatever. Try to keep the peace.
Right.
I mean?
Right.
I get where you're trying.
Like, keep the peace. And then she goes around and she went around and basically disrespected every single adult down the line.
Just spitting venom everywhere.
Basically, her mom came up, asked her if she shaved the side of her head because you females do fuck type shit and do the stupidest shit. where you guys shave the side of your head and think it's cute. It's not cute, ladies. I don't know who told you it was cute. It's not cute. It's weird.
I kind of
No,
disagree.
and if so, it depends on the woman. It would be like 5% of women that can actually pull it off. 5.
Apparently, I'm lucky because I see those 5% of
I,
women.
I think your eyes are clouded.
My eyes ain't clouded. My eyes ain't clouded. I see clearly.
So, that actually. Also, I want to get into the voice of the people. This week's this week's topic, it's 2 topics. One is based off of the controversy of Cheddar the Truth's his cipher, his mail cipher, and what he's trying to do. And I'm talking to other people right now. We might have somebody call in. Not sure who yet. I'm not trying to bag on his shit, but like it could have ran better. Could have ran a lot better. Both times in the female cipher and male cipher. By far, I think what made the cipher was Arizona Bobby. So shout out to Arizona Bobby.
So what is this deal with this controversy with the cipher thing? Like, I'm a little out of touch on that right now.
Well, so like the topic for Voice of the People is keeping it real, and our youth, and how our youth is our future, and how we need to treat our youth no matter what you believe. We'll start off with the whole, be about it, keeping it real situation. And we'll start off with the cipher. The first cipher was a woman's cipher, and all women's cipher, decent artists, female artists, and stuff like that. But around with that, there was a lot of people that weren't doing what they were supposed to do, not showing up, and none of the lyrics or anything were synced up. And there's controversy also that he's going around stealing beats and stuff like that, and not purchasing beats and stuff. So that's another thing. I don't know if it's true, but it's something that was addressed yesterday. Secondly, another thing is, once it came to the men's cipher, like the controversy is and like partially I'm indifferent to it, because I know I'm an Arizona cat, but I'm from Canada and I'm worldwide. So my what I give a shit about is what happens in the world and worldwide. I don't stay limited to just Arizona. Fuck all that bullshit. If keeping it real, like if you're not gonna expand out, you're not gonna get anywhere in your life. It is what it is. Um, with the controversy though, in the song is that a lot of people felt like they were dissing Arizona, like dissing artists in Arizona, saying that they're better and they're better Midwest artists and this, that, and the third, when in all truth, like the only one that had quality bars on it. Well, actually, I can't say that. There were a few people that did have quality bars on there, but by far my favorite was freaking Arizona Bobby.
Like, how so?
Well, Arizona Bobby always has a way of turning shit up. Like, I've been wanting to do work with Arizona Bobby. Me and Arizona Bobby have talked about it. He's a quality artist that does quality work. He's came a long way from where he's been, and he wasn't he didn't try to diss anybody. He didn't try to diss anything. He was actually doing his part and keeping it real. Now, the problem is a lot of Arizona people, like, regardless if it was bad or good or not, honestly, my opinion, the male's cipher was a lot better than the female cipher. The female cipher, straight trash. And it could have been better, but the quality was not there. And I felt like there could have been a little bit more quality. I felt like there could have been a lot more quality, even to the men's. But even if, like, all these cats are trying to throw side shade and shit like that, and one thing I've noticed, and it's a very difficult thing to extinguish because a lot of people are gonna front and tell you that they're not doing it, but they are. And the big key is that these cats are going around talking shit about everybody, only caring about themselves, not caring about the community. And if it doesn't benefit them, which is understandable, they turn a cold shoulder. When a lot of it is just, you know, jealousy and clout issues and shit like that. And even like even certain people that are like high up in the Arizona scales right now, I would straight up say, like, and I'm not going to name names, but there's a few I can point out that aren't going to make it outside of Arizona. And that's because of their mentality. Straight up. A lot of people have this mentality that they want to be the best of their state when you should be the best at your craft and shoot for worldwide. We're not this game wasn't built to be better than one another. So pull your heads out of your asses. You ain't better than nobody. You ain't better than me. And I'll guarantee you that. And see to that. Because I always triumph in the game time and time again. Other than that, it's just, keeping it real. Like, if you feel a certain way about it, speak up. Speak up about what you feel like. If you feel like there's a problem, or if you think something's not being addressed, speak up. Don't like beat around the bush and be like, oh well, I don't agree with this, so I'm just gonna make up an excuse and not show up or not do anything about this or that, and just throw shade on the side. No, go to that person, address the situation, get it handled. Things in this world are getting very complicated, and it shouldn't be. I remember even in my childhood, for adults that were in my childhood, shit was still a lot simpler. For being a kid, shit was a lot simpler as well. A lot simpler.
That's true.
Now everything's complex. There's rules around rules. There's rules that are around rules that are rules.
Nah. What happened is we grew up. We grew up and we are learning.
Society became more advanced, and
especially
became
with our
soft.
Especially with our generation. Not only that we become soft, but also our craft and our technology. Everything has jumped ahead of us, and we were struggling to keep up.
And right now we're on a power struggle.
Yeah.
And that's what leads into the second topic. And the second topic is, our youth. Like I said, back in the day, it was very easy to be a child. And it was very easy to process certain things, because when it came down to problems, it got handled right there. Didn't matter how it got handled. 9 times out of 10, it ended in a fight. This person had an issue. This person had an issue. Let's fight. Boom. After that, it's either you guys don't like each other and shit squared away, or you smoke a blunt and carry on. At least you got that beef off.
Nowadays, something like that doesn't just end with the old fisticuffs or whatever.
No, they don't.
It continues on. It continues on through social media. That goes
social
on
media, thumb
pockets.
Warriors.
That pretty much engulfs our daily lives. So like if you had a fight, if you already settled it, you shouldn't linger on it. You should be like,
and nobody likes a thumb warrior. If you're in another state across the continent, stop being a thumb warrior. Nobody gives a fuck about what you can do, because nobody can see what you can do. So stop. Nobody wants to hear that stupid ass bullshit. Kids take advantage of that nowadays. When in my time, we handled our shit right then, right there. And even when it comes to conflict, everybody tries to beat around the bush and stuff like that, or they'll get the cops involved, or they'll try to get like be vendettic to a point where it ruins your life, the other person's life, not your life, but the other person's life, and it goes on and on and on and on, and it doesn't stop. Now, one of the biggest problems with us as an adult, and for those that do have children, and those who do have children, you need to listen to this, because I feel like you guys are on some bullshit too. Like, a lot of you are on bullshit, and hate me for it, but you are. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck who you are. You all are on bullshit. Now, why I say that is because when we were younger, there's two types of parents right now. There was the ones that we went through turmoil when we were younger. We got beat, mangled, whatever, and we told ourselves, "I'm gonna be better than my parents. I'm gonna be better than my parents. I'm gonna do better than my parents and be a good parent." It's good to have that mentality, and that's the kind of mentality that I have. But the problem is that sometimes we don't realize that we're being too soft ourselves. How are our kids learning if, like, I don't say I beat my kid's ass every day. My kid's 10 years old. Only had his ass whooped 7 times in his life. 7 times.
I'm surprised you keep count.
Because it's very rare. I can count it on 2 hands. So, and that's how it should be. Like, fear but compassion is a very important key in raising a child. If they do not have that fear but that compassion for you, they're not going to respect you. And that's the biggest problem with people that are like that. They want to be better than their parents. They'll let their children run over them. Yeah. Because they don't know what to do. They don't want to end up resorting like their parents. Yeah, then there's the type of parent that I just can't stand. Can't stand. May I tell you, you guys are the real winners. Like, being sarcastic though, you guys fuck up all the time. And this is why you type of people lose your kids here and there, or your kids hate you and they don't respect you, is the parents that say and state, and they're it's typically the damaged ones, or the ones that feel like they hold themselves on a certain pedestal, that go around and say, well, I was raised this way, so I'm gonna raise my kids this way. Get the fuck with the program. This is almost the 22nd. We're in the 21st century right now, right? Yeah. It's almost the 22nd century. Almost. Get the fuck with the program. What your parents did back then, whether they beat you or not, if they treated you good or they treated you poorly, does not work in this day and age. Does not work. Kids are getting taught differently in school. Things are getting backwashed and backlashed, and even history is being washed out in the history books. So you guys need to step the fuck up on your game, because here's the thing. Like, everything you do now, and we all have done it, we all reflect on our childhoods and how we were raised. Your children are going to reflect their parenting off of what you do. So you need to think about that. If you don't want your kid acting like you are, you don't want your kid being, constantly yelling and screaming at people. You want your kid to have empathy. you want your kid to be compassionate, smart, you need the show, because you are the leader for this youth. Because like for me, 8 years from now, my son is going to be 18. So he will be a leader of the youth. He is our future. What I try to teach is compassion, but compassion through fear. And not even compassion through fear, I try to teach him life lessons. Not everybody's going to take your advice, but you've got to also let them learn, let them live. And this is another thing. This is the other type of parent that pisses me the fuck off. Sauce, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, Jupe.
What do you think the first thing a child should prioritize as being a child? The one and only thing that a child should prioritize being. What is the one thing a child should prioritize being as a child?
Loved.
I mean, yes. Loved and loving, but it's more... how am I going to put it? Being empathetic and actually... Oh, God. I forgot completely what I was actually going to say. It was something else. But empathy is a big role that we play in game life. If you cannot be empathetic with your spouse, you can't be empathetic with your kids. Oh, I remember now what I was going to say. I'll circle back over there. So there's two things a kid should be concerned about: empathy and being a kid and having an imagination. Imagination is the biggest thing. I'll talk about the imagination thing and then I'll go into the empathy. A lot of parents, and this is why I can't stand a lot of you parents. It makes no sense to me why you guys act the way that you do, and your kids are running around trying to be a kid.
But they are.
They're being told to grow up at the same time.
Yeah, but
until they hit into their teenage years, you shouldn't be telling a kid to grow the fuck up. Never. And that's all because we start losing our imagination and stuff like that, our childlike imagination around our teenage years. We still have some of it, and if you hold on to it, please hold on to it. That means that you're gonna get somewhere in life, straight up. But if you're going around telling your kid to stop acting childish and grow up, and they're either 4 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, they're not at that place you are at. Things are different now compared to our childhood. And a lot of you parents need to remember that. And you don't stick it in your head. And that's the biggest problem. The other thing is empathy. A lot of your kids pick up on your actions. And a lot of you parents, especially from what I've seen in Arizona, lack empathy. Lack it completely.
That's the thing. That's the thing that got me. My nephews came by to visit the other day, and I have two nephews. One of them is named Vincent, and he was carrying a conversation with my mother, and he was I don't know, I can't remember I don't remember the details, but I know that he was specifically talking about how grown-ups have acted, in which.
What do you mean?
It was negative of how he was talking about basically his parents.
He was talking negative about his parents?
He was, and my mom.
But why though?
Because he was observing, which is
a big key role.
Which is like, it can be it's really traumatizing if you think about it. It's mentally traumatizing.
If your kid
the kid is very observant. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a little something about me. Here, give you a
Okay.
little sauce.
Yes,
here.
absolutely. Let's hear this shit.
So, me being autistic, I am constantly. I'm paying extra careful attention.
Can you
to-
explain your autism to our viewers, because they don't really, like, I understand, and it took me a little bit when I was younger to understand what kind of autism you had, because I was like, he's kind of normal, but
So basically, I'm high functioning on the autism spectrum.
and what does that mean?
I can basically I can carry a conversation with you. I can be normal, quote.
Right, right.
But I do have quirks. There are things about me that I do that so I cannot exactly socialize very well when I'm out in public. I mean, well,
You've gotten a lot better at it,
I've
though.
gotten a lot better thanks to my parents and their coaching of how, especially my mother. But there are things that I do. There are things that I say. There are, like, for instance, whenever I'm stressed or whenever I'm uncomfortable, I find something to twirl things around, and
You fidget.
yeah, I need something to fidget with. But me, I don't know if this is for anyone else who is on the spectrum, but for me, what I have a tendency to do is I listen carefully to everything that goes on around me. I listen to my body when it tells me something, or which is how often I'm able to stay in this body shape that I am now, because when I work out at the gym too, especially. But when it comes to family, growing up, I would be playing my video games, and all of a sudden I would hear an argument. I turn the TV down low to point of mute, and I just listen. And I find myself just going up against the door. I'm just listening to the conversation.
And every kid does that. A lot of parents
yes.
don't realize that kids do that. They do listen. They will intentionally, like you said, turn down the volume or something like that. Ooh, what's mom and dad talking about? What are they talking about? And parents don't realize that. Even when they're arguing and fighting, and you're going around calling the other parent a piece of shit and this, that, and the third, and you're literally yelling at the other your spouse, the kids are picking up on that and deeming it as an okay action. Okay, my dad does it.
In my case,
it should be okay, right?
In my case, however, it was different for me, because I didn't know how to understand it. I didn't know how to decipher what is the meaning of how they talk about certain things, even if it's something as like financial things that I do not understand until I become an adult myself. They would talk. My parents would argue something financial, something personal, and family relations, and I'm just sitting there, and I would pace around the room, like just doing this stuff and trying to figure
Well, yeah,
out,
because you also don't want your parents fighting.
Yeah, I don't want my parents fight, because my biggest fear.
No kid likes that.
Yeah, no kid likes that, because the biggest fear for every child, when they are listening, when they are spying on the conversations between two grown-ups, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind the parents or family members. Two grown-ups. They are afraid of the ultimate negative outcome. That's
right.
That was the first thing that crossed my mind. Like,
and see, the biggest part.
Is my parents gonna divorce after, even if it's like, again, going back
in
to
the
biggest argument about finances. It was like, what are we gonna do with money? Well, I just got my next paycheck. I was like, wait, how are we gonna get gas? We gotta get gas. It's simple as that. Just gas alone. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my God, they're fighting. Are they gonna get divorced? Are they gonna? What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And that was that's the biggest fear that came to my mind.
And that strikes every kid. I can't say that didn't strike me either. And the biggest thing is, and it's crazy. Like, it's crazy to me, and because I've gone through it in previous relationships, I've seen it. Like, as a child, you parents need to stop arguing in front of the kids.
It doesn't.
Stop it. Because that's not going to solve anything. That's going to cause the child to resent one parent or the other, and it's going to deem that child that it is okay to act like that. If that it's okay to act reckless because my dad does it. Because my mom does
I do
it.
also want to point out that I'm not a parent, so I wouldn't understand.
But you've been a child.
But I can see that, don't, like, my parents have never done it, but I've encountered people. I've encountered children in public whenever I hang out with you. But one should not use, one should not use a child, especially as a tool,
A pawn.
as a weapon of war in your personal struggle against your significant other.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because that's the crazy thing, and I've actually went through that with Brayden. Brayden's mom, back when he was younger, I didn't get to be part of his first 4 birthdays because his mom basically set it up, told me that it wasn't going to happen, and then I would see pictures later on Facebook of a party that happened. And a lot of parents use that pawning as a solution for your problems. Oh, well, I'm going to tell him to do this. If he doesn't do it, then he doesn't get to see his kid. Oh, you don't want to give me money? Well, I guess you can't see your kid. And it's annoying. It really is. It's awful to see, and you guys don't realize what you guys truly do to the kids. You got to realize that unless that father is not involved or that mother is not involved, you guys got to co-parent properly. The only reason that you should go against a parent, whether you guys are the other significant other, whether you guys are together or not, is when it's something heinous. There should always be compromise. Always be compromise. It's got, yeah. It can't be, oh, well, this is what I want and I want this, because you're not considering what the other person is feeling.
There are parents out there who are subtle in that expression, and they in a way, and outsiders, not your family, not your friends, but outsiders can see that. I was like, this is almost like a narcissistic behavior going on.
And that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of things that I see, it's the biggest problem behind it is that these parents can't step into anybody else's shoes. They don't want to, because they to them it's not worth their time investing in it. And if you think like that, you think that it's not worth your time investing into your partner and stepping into their shoes, you're teaching your kids that. Oh, well, my mom's not empathetic, so why should I care? Why should I care about this person? Why should I care about that person? Oh, that doesn't benefit me in any sense at all.
The mentality of the child is almost like
it's a sponge.
Not only a sponge, but it's raw material, because they often, behind your, whether it's behind your backs, having at a school or a library or somewhere else out in public when the parents are not there, they often practice what the parents subconsciously preach.
And you'll end up catching them doing it too. And then you'll be like, and this is the stupidest thing. Stupidest. The you parents. And I'm a parent too. Let's keep that in mind. But you parents go around and you do that shit, and then you see your kid do it, and you're like, oh, where did you learn that from? Where the fuck do you think? Look how you're acting. You're acting worse than the fucking child.
Not just for any. Also, I think that also speaks true with step parents.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
a struggle being a step parent, because you got to be accepted by the kids. You got to be accepted by the parent of the kid. And if there is, I'm glad you brought that up too. If you cause divide with the step parent, being the maternal or the paternal parent, and you basically go, oh, well, I don't see this as just or that as just because that's not how I feel and that's not how I do things, then how are you co-parenting? Because when it comes to a step parent, you have to co-parent too. It doesn't matter that it's your kid. It really doesn't. Yes, you have the final say and word of how discipline is going to get carried out, and you have to respect that of the maternal and or paternal's decision. And if you don't, that sucks for you. But if you're not gonna co-parent properly with a step parent, those kids of yours are gonna end up basically running all over the step parent, disrespecting the step parent, basically saying, "Oh, well, you can't tell me what to do because my mom said this. My mom controls everything. My dad does this. My dad controls this. And you can't tell me what to do." Basically saying, "Fuck you." Might as well be. And that's a big fuck you to the face of the step parent. And a lot of maternal and paternals don't realize that. Yes, you have your form of discipline. So does the paternal. But if you don't like it, and or the maternal or paternal doesn't like it, the biggest thing that you can do for yourselves, for your children, for your future, if you want to stay together, compromise. Compromise. You are not going to like everything that your partner does. Everybody knows this. We are all different.
So
But if you cannot compromise with your spouse based on your beliefs and their beliefs, it is not going to work out. It's going to be disastrous. It's going to be destructive. It's going to be volatile.
what can you say to I think with what you just said, Mike is geared towards the parents. What about the parent? What about the
It's geared towards both.
oh both sides? Okay, well,
Yeah, compromise is a big key.
Yeah.
Communication and compromise.
I think
Communication
the
makes
communication
80%
must-
of a
yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, the
So-
communication has to come first because like the way I see it, if I go into a relationship with someone who is a single parent, you know, I think there has to be, there is definitely need to be some communication. Like the way I did it was
Communication and compromise.
the way-
Because if you don't compromise with each other, that other kid is going to disrespect you over and over and over again. Why? Because she, it sees you run over your partner all the time. All the time. So, in their mind, they absorb that like a sponge and go, "Oh, well, I guess I can run over him too." You know? And that's what all you parents need to realize. The biggest thing is compromise. Communicate. If you don't like something, speak up. Be real about it. And then
seek counseling too.
Well, if it gets to that point, yeah, seek counseling. Because if you're yelling every single day, you need to go to counseling. It's not helping you. It's not helping the children. If you want to be in a healthy relationship, be in a healthy relationship. Don't talk about how, oh, well, I learned about this, that, and the third, and I know everything. No, the fuck you don't. Or you wouldn't be yelling at your spouse so much. If you knew better, then it wouldn't be happening.
I guess that's my kind of recommendation would be. I think well, I'm too kind. I'm told this by my parents and by my family and some friends that I am too kind.
I try.
For this world.
I try so hard.
So I guess me being me, I would say, you know, seek counseling. If you hit that roadblock and you feel like you're not going anywhere,
if you guys are not
take a breather first. Leave the room for a moment. Take a breather.
No argument should there be any yelling. If you guys are yelling at each other, both of you guys need to separate for a second.
Yeah,
collect yourselves. Yeah. Go smoke a cigarette. Go smoke a blunt. Come back and go, hey,
sit back down.
I was a little out of line. I apologize. Accept the apology. Because that person didn't mean to be like that. If she didn't lay a hand on you, and only said slurs and stuff like that, they don't mean it. They're mad and in the moment.
But that kind of also in a way warrants the option of having to go seek counseling, couples therapy, and such
Mhm.
and such. Especially, I mean, especially if you're a step parent and you're at odds in terms, especially when the child is involved. You have to, if you really want to make this relationship work with the step parent or with the single parent or whatever, definitely seek counseling. Find some kind of therapist, and don't just seek therapy or counseling from your friends or family, because they're
No,
obviously
God, no,
they
don't.
friends or family,
You're
they're
you're
gonna
stupid
stand.
as fuck if you take advice from your like. I'm not saying don't take advice from your family, but
You
if
have to consider
don't take relationship advice. Let me word it this way: don't take relationship advice from your parents if your parents are single. I'm gonna leave it as profound as that. And other than that, don't talk to your parents about issues that you and your spouse are having, because they're gonna either automatically choose your side, or if they really like that other party, they're gonna automatically choose the other side. That's not what therapy is about.
and they're
That's
gonna
not what growth is about.
and sometimes well, okay, it's one way to view it as wisdom, but if you think back to your history, to your past of how
Mm-hmm.
you're growing up, and if you find out later in life that your upbringing wasn't exactly ideal because of the parentage, you know, yeah, definitely not take such advice from
Yes.
family members, especially if you're even witnessing them displaying such kind of behavior where you're thinking that doesn't seem right. It doesn't sit well with me.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say yeah. I mean, talk to your friends and family. Try to get some kind of
But if it's
understanding,
not
but
like a neutral, if it's not a neutral advice, don't take it.
see that
It's
kind
got to be neutral.
see that kind of situation see that kind of situation if the conversation goes nowhere, if the situation escalate verbally, and it's a scale,
Right.
because you have your friends and family, and then you're thinking about just
Everything lies on a pendulum. What it comes down to with parenting and bringing up our youth, it comes down to, I think, I'm going to say 5. I'm probably going to be less than that. 1, communication. And communication means stop yelling at each other. Be grown ass adults. Stop calling names. Stop disrespecting each other. And have a conversation.
check yourself.
If you need to go away for a second and then come back, do it. 2, empathy. Empathy plays a big role in raising a child. If you cannot step in that child's shoes, then you shouldn't be parenting that child. Flat out. 3, um,
Compassion.
compassion. Compassion is a big one too. And without compassion, without being able to show compassion, constant compassion, your kid's gonna pick up on that and be just as bitter as you are. So if you want a bitter kid, that is on you. 4, let's see, communication. Um, see, I told you I was gonna be like off, like I'm missing some shit. I know I am. We can all be better for this youth. Right now, everything is like the pendulum is out off whack right now, with everything escalating the way it is. Don't be a problem to society.
The internet
Don't
in
be
a
the
way is
problem.
not the internet in a way
No, it's
is
not.
not exactly helping. I mean, there are some social forums that where you can try and reach out, like Reddit, for example. I've listened and read all these stories where like relationship r/relationship advice, surviving infidelity, um, am I the assholes? I listen to those Reddits where I hear all these stories, whether it's fake or real or whatever. I read these stories of these people going through their struggles of like said relationships,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's nice, to get. I mean, you in the stories, the person who tells a story often goes to like family and friends, and there's like, well, they're more. It's always divided, so they seek outside advice or wisdom, and if you know, it's nice to
Right.
it's nice to consider and try to put me. I can never. It's impossible for me to put myself into another person's shoe.
How so?
Like, from
That's all part of empathy, though. If you can't be empathetic, you can't be in a successful relationship.
that's the thing with me and my relationship with my girl. It's we are like two completely different worlds, especially with
Right,
childhood. My
right.
upbringing is vastly different than hers. Her upbringing is not it's not exactly as like mine, because
Right.
I was
And I agree, because my relationship currently is the same. Like, me and her, two different complete worlds. And it's crazy. Like, it's like a yin yang in a sense.
yeah.
It gets hectic, but you guys can always come together, and we've got to consider all of this shit when we're bringing up these youth, because everything that your kids pick up, it's because of you. Just remember that. Now, I'm gonna end Voice of the People right there, and I'm actually going to get into a track that actually touched me pretty deep. It's a newer Hopsin song. It's called Your House, and it touched me in a certain way because I was able to relate to it, because my childhood wasn't as great and shining as everybody thought, especially living under my mom's roof. It wasn't mostly my mom's fault, and I do love my mom, but the person that she was with all the time caused major problems, and it actually impacted my how I treat my kids. I never want to see my kids treated that way, ever. I don't want to ever see my child go through that. So we're gonna get into Your House, and that's by Hopsin. Let's get into it.
Man, I don't even know what happened. I was born inside of this shit, my fucking parents scrapping. I was mortified as a kid. Police always at my house, all because of my daddy's temper. Man, this shit been going on about as long as I can remember. He'd always blame my mom for the shit he didn't accomplish. I'd hide in the corner like a guinea pig in the process, just knowing he about to smack the fucking teeth out of mouth. It's like when it came to some type of drama, he got aroused. No joke. There was the moments where dad would slowly be creeping up. I would jump in front of my mama. Please don't beat her up. I ain't never spoke on this shit. The memories are up. Smiles and hugs, that's just something you'll never see in us. You know the pain when your parents tell you to go and play, then hours later you see your mom and she got a swollen face. I hope you don't relate. I just learned how to cope today, from the days when I would pick up the phone and say, I gotta leave here now. My mom and dad acting crazy and this ain't right. And they've been going back and forth all night. I wanna stay at your house tonight, cause I don't wanna hear my dad fighting mama no more. I don't wanna hear the police at the front door. Can I stay at your house? I wanna stay at your house tonight. Your house tonight. I would go to school feeling so frightened, yeah, I was scared. Not knowing if I'ma go home, finding my mama dead. Every other fucking day, Dad was always losing control. He was acting like a fucking ape running loose in our home. Man, ever since I was born, they was pessimistic and torn. It's evident, but regardless, they never get a divorce. God, I wish they got around it, just checking into some counseling. We could have been a happy family inside our house again. I said again as if we ever were. That's false. Shit I dealt with growing up will forever hurt. I'm lost. We were nothing like the families I used to see on the sitcoms. We were horrible with bonds. I can no longer sitcom. I would see that my friends had a life at home that was peaceful. They were lovable people who didn't function like we do. Or how I wish I could redo the pain of the wicked days when I pick up the telephone, call a friend and say, I gotta leave here now. My mom and dad acting crazy and this ain't right. And they've been going back and forth all night. I wanna stay at your house tonight, cause I don't wanna hear my dad fighting mama no more. I don't wanna hear the police at the front door. Can I stay at your house? I wanna stay at your house tonight. Your house tonight. I ain't placing the blame, saying it's mom or dad's fault, but all those traumas I had stuck with me as an adult, and it ignited these mad thoughts that I seem to have often. Yeah, that's Hobson. Music is where my last straw went. Now I'm devoted to always give you my true life. The love I never felt growing up, I get it from you guys. Please don't get it twisted. I love both my parents to death. I just think there's issues a lot of fucking parents neglect. We all got these traumas we carry, and sometimes it's scary cause we bury the nest right there in our chest, and we subconsciously air and project the nightmares and the stress that we dealt with when we were younger. And that's why therapy's best. Listen, if you got kids of your own and you throwing tantrums, don't be oblivious and assume that it won't impact them. Children follow the protocol of the parents' blueprint, so when there's an issue, they might handle it just how you did. I gotta leave here now. My mom and dad acting crazy and this ain't right. And they've been going back and forth all night. I wanna stay at your house tonight, cause I don't wanna hear my dad fighting mama no more. I don't wanna hear the police at the front door. Can I stay at your house? I wanna stay at your house tonight. Your house tonight.
All right, and that was Your House by Hobson. Man, that the first time I heard that song, and it was this week because I was going through my own issues and arguments and stuff like that with certain people, and it hit me in a certain place, and that's why I chose that topic for the youth, the voice of the people, is because a lot of people don't understand how we impact our children, and we need to open up to that. You need to stop being selfish. We're gonna move on to the next subject, which is sauce is sauce. Sauce, give us that sauce that everybody wants and craves.
Oh boy, where do I begin? Oh, I've been doing some digging. So, WandaVision.
Oh yes.
That new show on Disney.
Have you checked it out yet?
I don't even have Disney Plus, dude. I have yet to see The Mandalorian.
Yeah, me neither.
Some of you are probably cringing right now. I was like, "What the fuck? It's a popular show. What the fuck?"
I can't give in.
I'm sorry. I mean, I know what's going on with The Mandalorian and shit, but WandaVision, it's kind of weird seeing Vision and what's her face suddenly in like this whole old sitcom looking show, and it's fucking phasing between different I don't know, it's realities or different timelines or whatever the fuck that is, but it's so weird.
It looks kind of weird. I can't put like my finger on what the scenario of WandaVision is supposed to be, because like I don't know the details behind WandaVision and why he is the way that he is. Like I really don't know. Like I know as much of why he got the Infinity Stone in him, but that's about it. Is he even alive anymore? Like after what was it? After Endgame?
Vision? He pretty much,
because he was killed.
Yeah,
I remember that.
killed,
But was he
yeah.
brought back? I missed that half of the movie
no.
because I passed out.
He wasn't brought back because of the stone.
Oh, okay.
He's nothing.
So
without
he
the
stayed
stone.
dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
Okay, that was my question. Like honestly, I didn't know any better because well, I fell asleep during the last half.
Jesus Christ.
I was in the drive-in, was watching it. It was just, it took so long for anything to even happen and action to happen, and they had to catch up with everything and what everybody was doing.
It was a build
To the point where like the Hulk is smart now, and
the Hulk is tamed.
yeah, he's tamed.
I mean,
and I just I passed out, and I woke up right as the credits hit, and I was like, man, that really sucks.
Missed the epic fight.
Yes, I did.
Climactic.
I did.
How?
And I never revisited it.
Jeez.
Never.
I mean, first of all, I'm surprised that drive-in movies they're still around.
Oh yeah, well, social
Because-
distancing. Yeah.
So another so there is one thing that's been going on. I think this is a nice notch to the Black History Month. Judas and the Black Messiah. Have you ever heard of that
What
one?
the fuck is that?
According to this, it says it's an it's electrifying dramatization of historical events.
Is it like Black Jesus?
No, it's a force. Hang on a sec. There's a. Okay, here we go.
Because Black Jesus is my Jesus.
Okay, so it says here. Here's the info. I'm reading this, mind you, off of Rotten Tomatoes. You can look it up for yourself if you like. So basically, it's about an FBI informant, William O'Neill, infiltrates the Illinois Black Panther Party and is tasked with keeping tabs on their charismatic leader. Some chairman named Fred, a career thief. O'Neill revels in the danger.
Oh, so this is the Black Panther story. The actual like Black Panthers. Okay.
The Black
yeah,
Black Panther Party.
the gang Black Panthers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
that's definitely something to actually look into. Yeah.
It is, because I mean, for those of you who are really into the whole filming industry, the director is by Shaka King. Writer Will Burson. Shaka King even not only directed but wrote the film also. There are some pretty interesting names into this as well. There's Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith Stanfield, Dominique Fishback. This is gonna be especially with the Black Panther Party. That it's definitely a movie worth looking into if you're into that kind of drama, crime-ish kind of thing. And it's one of those movies that certain people avoid because it's a really touchy subject. But I think
it's definitely something to get into.
Yeah, you should go see it because it's very enlightening.
Did you check out the Night Stalker documentary that was on Netflix?
No,
so
I don't think so. Hit me with that.
So the Night Stalker was a serial killer back in the 90s, I believe. I believe it was the 90s, and he would go in places, shoot the husband and wife, and then rape the wife
once she's dead.
I don't know if she was alive or dead. I wasn't paying attention.
That must be a
but like, yeah, it went on for years, and it's actually a really good documentary. It's like chilling and creepy.
What was the actor?
It was a documentary. It was
just
like
a pure documentary.
Yeah, pure documentary. So I mean, but it was interesting. I was able to keep attuned to it. So I believe that's something that people should definitely check out from the home.
So well, that's pretty much it. What I have in terms of movies, I want to get to the games because there's definitely some games I am looking forward to play. So, real quick question: Dead Space, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
So
they're coming back with it.
They're coming back with a game called the Callisto Protocol.
What the fuck is that?
It's basically taking place on one of the moons of Jupiter.
Oh.
And I've seen the trailer. And they make it so not about Dead Space, but it's fucking Dead Space because they've dropped Easter eggs of here and there, like certain names, blood writing on the wall.
And it's got all the jumps and shit like that.
It's got
Oh my
all the
God.
tropes.
I might
I
have to
mean,
check that out.
and it's because one of the makers of Dead Space has his hand into this game as well.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to this, especially because it was like I think it was like last year. Yeah, last year I went through a game, just started playing Dead Space 1 to 3, just for the nostalgic horror.
So hard too. It's so difficult to get through it. And like I'm a cheeser for one of the I'm a cheeser for actually shutting off the lights to torture and condemn myself, because I like to get scared, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play a horror game, then you should definitely
Shut the fucking lights off.
You should set yourself up to play a horror
Make
game.
yourself vulnerable.
Same thing as when you're doing a horror movie, or a thriller movie for that matter. So, oh my god! So this certain game is available on all platforms. Definitely, the release date is they say it's gonna be on next year, because it's going. I mean, with the way graphics are these days, if you
there's got to be a lot of graphics to this.
by comparison to Dead Space, definitely
they gotta step it up.
It has to be true.
It's gonna be one of those PS5 games, guaranteed.
Oh yeah. As soon as
not a lot of people have converted over yet to, like.
I have not converted to PS5.
I haven't either.
Yeah, I have not made that transition yet, because I think that there's still some bugs that they're trying to work.
There are. There definitely are.
there are. Another game. This is okay. Let me tell you this little situation. It was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I hung out with my old childhood high school sweetheart. She was going through. She was
Who was that?
Jaslyn.
Oh.
Yeah, like what at this
lucky you.
At this, like, don't take this the wrong way, folks. I mean, we're just strictly friends now. She's already in a relationship herself. But she called me up. She called me up yesterday. She was like, man, I'm getting really anxious for reason whatsoever, because she's had a rough over the last few years, really rough.
How so?
So she needed someone to just kind of like hold her hand and make sure that everything's okay. You know what I mean? So I went over there. We hung out. We ate food, and we played this game. Which is the point of this next one, called Don't Starve.
What?
It's because of Jaslyn, I'm hooked. I'm like, it's an indie game where it's a standalone multi. There's a game. The game is called Don't Starve, but I've only recently played the an upgraded, which is called Don't Starve Together, where you're doing multiplayers. And the environment here's a couple pictures too.
Let me see this.
So it's got this Tim Burton art style to it, where you and in this case you and your online friends. This is all again on all platforms. You can cross.
What are the graphics on it? Is it like
it's a
Tim Burton
cartoonish looking,
like kind of like paper?
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. The graphics is nice. The mechanics is nice and smooth and responsive and all that shit. It's really fun. You get to you start off with practically nothing but only the tools that you're given as your character, depending on who you choose. And you have to go around and you have to build your camp. You have to, well, in this case, Jaslyn and I were and another a third party member came, started building up this little farm, try to gather food and whatnot, because there's a time clock. When it gets to nighttime, there's these monsters that you don't see that goes out to kill you. It really puts you in a mood. So and I'm just sitting there at the edge of my seat on the laptop doing this. I'm just like, because I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Oh,
I didn't know the next thing was
man.
gonna happen. It's an awesome game. Like again, it's on all platforms. You can look it up. I strongly recommend you play it. For those of you, if you can do Minecraft, you can do this game. And it's especially for those of you who have like that kind of like who wants that dark sense
Right.
of adventure. Fucking dark. Fucking shit. There's this. Okay, so you know how in the Chinese New Year it's the year of the ox.
Yes. Yes.
So in this game, there's this woollied looking ox animal. It might as well be the buffalo, but in the game they call it the beefalo. So, but yeah, that I'll just leave it off at that. Look it up, dude.
The
It's really
beefalo.
fun. Yeah, the beefalo.
That's a beefalo.
The beef-
That's a big old beefalo right there.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all. That's all I have to. That's all I have to give for now. Other than the
Great.
fact that I'm just looking at a bunch of cars lately on one of the sites called AutoTempest.com.
What the hell?
Okay, it's like
You're looking up cars on a what?
it's a site called AutoTempest.com, and here you get to put on any make and model of the vehicle that you kind of want. Like for instance, like if you want to find a 1967 Ford Mustang, you just put that and put down your zip code and just put in, like for me, I put in the car that I want within a 300-mile radius. And it pulls up.
big radius.
I mean, as a, you know, I was curious because Arizona probably doesn't have that much pretty interesting cars.
I mean, they do. They have a lot of hidden gems, and I have seen a lot of hidden gems. One of my cars that I actually owned at one point in time till an old fucking man basically clipped me.
Ouch.
Was that I had a Chrysler New Yorker, and it was like charcoal black, and it was such a sexy car. Such a sexy car.
Freaking, okay, hang on one second. Okay. So I'm just looking up real quick on a Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
god.
Just because well,
Like the old one with the fucking ridiculous ass like headlights and shit like that.
I'm talking. Okay, here's one. Here's a 1964 Cadillac DeVille, gold coupe. It's
Gold?
well, it's not actual gold, but it's the
It's liquid
Old
gold. That's dope.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is fucking dope. And I mean, here, 1950.
I would buy that.
I mean, look, it's fucking dope. I don't. I mean, here.
Oh, I would. That looks like a Bel
Here,
Air.
here, I don't know if they can see it from.
Yeah. That's not. That's a Coupe de Ville. That looks like a Bel Air.
Well, in the 50s, they almost look alike.
Oh.
They look alike, but Cadillac
Interesting.
definitely, yeah. And it's $150,000.
Jesus.
It's
crazy that they can market cars for those kind of prices to me. Like that's like buying a new home. It's crazy.
yeah. Well, if you're an auto enthusiast and you want to find, if you want to find that one car like the 1950 Cadillac, that thing has been taken care of. It's been cleaned. It's been restored. So you bet your ass.
Yeah.
If you see
They
it,
put work into it, and that makes sense.
yeah, definitely. All right, so I'll just keep it brief. So, what would you recommend as someone who would like to watch or someone who would like to play in terms of video games or movies that they are interested in?
Let's see. I would definitely check out that Night Stalker, the documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. I've been trying to get into find more adult animation like shows and shit like that, kind of like Rick and Morty and stuff like that. I looked into this one called Hoops. It's corny, but it's Hoop. It's called Hoops, and it's about a gym teacher that is trying to get his like a high school gym teacher that's trying to get his basketball team to like hit the top and stuff like that, and like he's kind of got problems, so it's pretty funny. I checked that out, and Solar Opposites. Have you seen Solar Opposites yet?
No, I
It's
haven't.
from the creators of Rick and Morty.
Oh boy.
So it's hilarious.
Okay, give me the gist.
It's basically aliens that ended up crashing on Earth, and they can't stand being there, and they just want to get off the Earth, and they get into different shenanigans.
I will have to look that up.
Like two of the kids, they have this wall, and it's it's like a what are those ant planetariums? You know what I'm talking about, where it's like a glass like thing, and it's like an ant it's like a ant environment, but for humans. They shrink them down and they put them in there. It's crazy.
for no reason whatsoever.
For no reason.
Just for fuck's sakes.
No, yeah. Games, man. I haven't even gotten into games lately. I wish I could be like, I was bitching at my kid earlier. I was like, man, I wish I could play games like you right now.
No, but you have to be a grown up now. You have to grow up.
I gotta be a grown up. People are bitching at me because I'm playing video games. Freaking. All right, so that ends it for the sauce. With sauce, the saucy sauce, I'm gonna get into another track. It is Motive by the Muzz. Checking everybody on their motives. Let's go.
What's the hold up? I've been waiting for my money when it show up. Cause when the check come through, that's when I go up. You know it doesn't come free. What's your motive? 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 I've been waiting for my money when it show up. Cause when the check come through, that's when I go up. You know it don't come free. What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive?
What the fuck you think you're doing here? What's the word behind your motives? I can see you watching through a scope from a half a mile away, like I'm Kenny in a caddy. What you're saying's on point, but your actions ain't flying like the magic bullet. Taking another look in your eyes, I can see them getting darker by the second as you yap about the rapping, trying to get another collab. And if you ain't cashing in, I'ma send you on your way like your shorty, wicked, stupid, alcoholic fuck with a fake fucking label. So tell me what's the hold up, claiming that you're banging so hard, but you're knocking that rock bottom as I'm sacking up the racks. I think it's time for y'all to face the facts. Besides the OGs in my city, got the rest of you pussy ass rappers beat in the Arizona heat. Call me Freddy, I'ma see you in your dreams as you're murdered to this beat, leaving you bleeding out in your sleep.
What's the hold up? I've been waiting for my money when it show up. Cause when the check come through, that's when I go up. You know it doesn't come free. What's your motive? 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 I've been waiting for my money when it show up. Cause when the check come through, that's when I go up. You know it don't come free. What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive?
Started at the bottom, now I'm building up the clout. Always on the move as I'm grinding through the ground. Yeah, I'm wilding out, never selling out. It's a shame that you ever had a doubt that I can make it rain even in a drought. Nothing comes for free, even if you disagree. Your opinion really doesn't mean shit to me. The culture of the music's in a state of shock. Motherfuckers snitching on each other just to get a key. Take a look at 6ix9ine, you can see what I mean. Arrested for messing with a little girl, she was only 13. Snitching on the train, not just to get a better plea. Avoiding all the racketeering, quit riding on the stolen talent. Take it back to Zilla, calm your life's quickly ticking down. Talking all that shit, got you foaming out the mouth like it's rabies. Someone call the pound, it's time to put him down. Or wrap him up in a gown and have the city morgue put him in the ground.
I've been waiting for my money when it show up. Cause when the check come through, that's when I go up. You know it doesn't come free. What's your motive? 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 I've been waiting for my money when it show up. Cause when the check come through, that's when I go up. You know it don't come free. What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive? What's your motive?
All right, and we are back. That was Motive by the Muzz. Real quick, I wanted to shout out the lovely Janaea for helping me put together my merchandise for February. This is a limited edition of Villain Gang apparel. Right now for local people, I do have these. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Oh yeah, look at that. And then this one right here. Oh man, look at that. Ooh wee. So for local people, I do have shirts printed out. Go ahead and hit me up. $25 a shirt. Villain Gang apparel, or you can order on Amazon for the ones that are out of state. And that is posted on the Villain Gang apparel webpage, the Muzz webpage. Just check it out. Get you some of these while they last.
Oh, sorry, they're limited?
Yes, these are a limited production, and if they do come popular, I might actually expand it. But for Villain Gang apparel, this is a limited edition for Valentine's Day strictly.
Damn, goddamn.
That's what I'm saying, and they look good. They fit
small.
well too.
This is small.
They fit well.
Fit my fat ass.
Right. So
Shit's dope though.
hell yeah! I love the print. Like the design is flawless. Shout out to Janaea.
Yeah,
Keeping it real.
Love you, girl. You're awesome.
And cheaper than all you motherfuckers. So
You would.
So now we're gonna get into measures for Sean.
Oh God, no more Sean Connery. That's 2020 ago.
Sean Connery's number one. So,
What you got for the news?
in a now deleted tweet, the Philly rapper shared the Philly rapper Lil Uzi Vert shared a photo of blood leaking from his 24 million pink diamond that he put into his head later last week. He made the decision to embed a diamond in the middle of his forehead that could turn fatal if it isn't removed correctly. On February 3rd, the Eternal Ataki MC took a Twitter to give fans a morbid update of the gem implanted in his forehead. If you don't get it looked at, they said a few people said if you don't take it out right away, you could die. And he showed blood leaking from the natural pink diamond. He said I might die. No, seriously. And reactions from fans were concerned. They were telling him it's not safe. You better take it off. I don't want to see you dead. And other users noted that he should be fine as the gem if the gem is safely removed. In an effort to show his fans that he was okay, Uzi shared a video of his face, but this time the bloody mess was cleaned up. He said, "Okay, we good." The caption he captioned on the post, "I'm literally trying to turn into a diamond." Lil Uzi Vert's update comes hours after he showed the gem off to a friend during a FaceTime call. The image went viral, becoming the topic of the conversation between fans who couldn't believe the Philadelphia native actually went through and did such an absurd idea.
He wanted to become a literal diamond.
I think he just took it from WandaVision. I think a lot of people were like, "That's some WandaVision shit."
Like, what happened in his childhood? Did he see his own girl with a bedazzled fucking binder, and he was like, "I want to do that, but on my skin."
He's like, "I want to be bedazzled."
Oh my god.
Bedazzle me.
Like, okay,
with a 24 million diamond.
I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna say from my point of view, that's the most stupid thing you could ever do.
I
mean,
agree.
I've seen people do modifications to their bodies, like give themselves little horns, get their eyes blackened and all.
Yeah, I've
and
seen that.
Their teeth filed and all that shit. I got that. There's procedure for that. But to have a
diamond,
basically,
and it's a $24 million diamond. So if somebody comes
you basically put a target on your motherfucking forehead.
If you go into the wrong neighborhood, they're gonna fucking beat the fuck out of you or kill you.
You don't need to be in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah.
With the state of this country as is, I mean,
they'll
you
snatch that shit off his head.
you have to be one desperate motherfucker, and if you happen to see him, fucking, that's all she wrote for you.
Mm-hmm.
He'll gladly take his knife and cut that thing out on you.
Hell yeah, I would too. That's
So
a 24 million.
I'm sorry to. I mean,
I'm sorry, little Uzi Vert, but I would cut that shit out of your head.
Yeah,
and actually sell it.
yeah, like, I'm sorry. I mean, okay, I know you want to be. Okay, I know you want to be styling. You want to shine.
That's
but
not
that ain't
style.
The way
That's just dumb as fuck.
No, that is the most stupid thing you could ever do in 2021, where there are really desperate people out there. Yeah, you're asking for it.
Basically.
I mean, let's see if you try to be tough or you no.
Don't headbutt nobody. You're gonna hurt yourself. A lawyer was caught having sex during a Zoom court hearing last week after leaving his camera on. The judge presiding over the virtual hearing branded lawyer Hector Paradis Robles a disgrace for his X-rated public performance in central Peru on Tuesday. The surreal sequence of the events occurred Tuesday during a virtual remand hearing organized by the court in Pichcani in the central Peruvian region of Junin. The lawyer's client was held after the lawyer's client was held after an operation. The lawyer's client was held after an operation against organized crime gangs. As the sex scene showed no sign of stopping, Judge Torres said, "We are witnessing obscene acts which represent the violation of public decency, and these are aggravated by the fact that they are being recorded nationally." A female court worker confirmed that the camera belonged to Paradis Robles. The judge then instructed the state prosecution services to launch an immediate investigation. Last night, the lawyer was barred for from any more involvement in the ongoing land trafficking, fraud, and extortion case. He was also told that he would face two separate probates, which is the state prosecutor and another by the local bar association. Some local reports described that the brunette described a brunette he had sex with was actually his client. Through she is yet to be identified. After the court hearing was suspended for lewd behavior, the judge said Hector Paradis Robles has been fully identified as a lawyer who has disrespected the dignity of the court as well as other lawyers present in the legal profession as a whole. During the video, the blonde woman was sitting on top of the married father of three, Juan Emilio Amari, as he leans down to kiss her breasts, and she fondles him. Yeah.
I can't believe.
Try to get laid and do it in front of the courtroom.
He tried to rest his case.
He did rest that case. He rested that case hard.
God
and
damn.
I watched the video too. Like, you can go and look up the video and stuff like that. And like, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Grab your phones, everybody. Time to do some research.
Yes, research this.
Oh my god.
I got all the videos right here. Hold on. There's like a few of them.
I can't even.
So.
Oh my god.
This is the full video of it. Hold on.
Oh Jesus! Don't keep the volume muted.
Oh no, I'm gonna play it with the volume.
No, no. Wait, is this like the actual Zoom?
This is the actual Zoom. The actual Zoom. That's why I'm telling you. Like, hold on. Real quick ads. God damn it.
Dude, no, keep the volume low, man. Don't traumatize anyone. Oh, what?
Yep.
Oh no, the judge and everybody there.
He's like, what? in the fuck is going on?
And the guy recording it.
And look at them. They're going at it.
Oh my god!
Right
I
there.
can't believe it.
And this guy starts walking up. He's
Oh,
like, what?
wait, is
Look. Oh shit.
oh shit? No, I've seen it enough, dude. I've
Like
seen
she
it enough.
gets on top of him and starts straddling him and shit like that.
Oh,
It's
shit, dude.
crazy.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
That is unfucking
So yeah,
real.
that happened, and you know now that I love the internet. It's so great, so great. We get to catch people fucking up all the time, and that's why we have these muzzy fuzzy newses.
Oh my god.
So, Microsoft sort of wants you to be able to talk to dead people. According to the patent filed by the tech company developers, they created a tool that can make it possible to have a virtual conversation via chatbot with a past or present entity, such as a friend, relative, acquaintance, celebrity, fictional character, or historical figure. According to the patent, the chatbox would use social data to mold a personality alongside a 3D model of its real-life counterpart using letters and images. CNN reported that the information gathered would train that chatbot to interact as that person. O'Brien pointed out that Microsoft filed the patent application in April 2017. The predates artificial intelligence ethical standards are in place today. So Microsoft said, "Do you want to talk to dead people? You want to talk to some dead people? I want to talk to some dead people."
No thanks.
So a lot of people take their final ride in a Cadillac or a Lincoln, hearse. But but here's the thing: there's a new hearse out. It's a Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red Eye hearse. Sadly, this is a sadly it's not real yet, but there is a rendering of it right now, and it looks pretty dope. It's going to be having 717 horsepower to basically carry you to your grave. It's crazy. Crazy.
I mean,
That's how I want to go out.
I mean,
in a
if you
Hellcat.
if you could take any car and turn it into a limo, you can take. any
And see,
vehicle
that's
and
that's the
take
thing. I was like, if they come out with a hearse that is a Dodge Challenger Mopar, I'm buying that shit for myself. Buying it for myself. Dopest little fucking car. Airbnb is giving the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fans a rare opportunity to live like Will Smith did in the 1990s when he moved from Philadelphia to California, but without breaking the bank. According to a report from TMZ on Sunday, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air mansion became available for rent in the popular vacation rental platform for $30 a night. To celebrate the 30th anniversary of the show premiere on September 10th, 1990. The house will be available for rent September 29th, and with stays taking place October 2nd, 5th, 8th, 11th, and 14th. With only 5 dates for overnight stays available, this is an opportunity extremely limited thanks to COVID. Any person who lives outside of the LA County area will not be able to participate in the one in a lifetime event. So basically, California said, "Fuck you, everybody. Is if you don't live here, then you're not gonna get in there." Thank you, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, being dicks and shit. All persons looking to join the festivities will be asked to prove that they are currently living in the same household to minimize the risk of spread through the coronavirus. Though the house will not be the same place where Will Smith and the cast of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air got their antics, fans will be staying in the house that seen in the sitcom's opening sequence. The listing, which was posted by Will Smith, allows access to Will's room, the bathroom from the show, the poolside lounging area, and a large dining room. DJ Jazzy Jeff will be giving guests a virtual welcome when their stay begins. So, get on that shit, Californians. I would go stay in that mansion. West Philly, where I'm born and raised. And then California doesn't want us in because we're from Arizona.
You gotta work on that. You gotta work on that. You gotta work on that.
Muzzy's Fuzzy News. So, we're going to get into one more song. And it's going to be... shoot. I'm trying to spitball something. We'll do De La Prime.
De La Prime.
De La Prime. I think, like, realistically, the main song I like by De La Prime is Chrysanthemum. So we'll go ahead and run that shit back. Actually, you know what? No, scratch that.
Better?
Yes, I did.
What you find?
So,
A song.
Rez Coast Grizz was actually in the studio this week, and I think that we should pay him some homage and actually play one of my favorite songs that he does, and it's called Rock and Roll by Rez Coast Grizz. Let's go.
She love that blue. Cocaine mixed with good nice running nose. Oh no, you're eating like hell in the shows. Show me how you do that there. I can tell you run the city. You just went and fix your hair. That color on you looking pretty. Shawty say she grown up. Got me waiting on you. We stay on the road now. Other bitches hating on you. You got that way that you live. Can't nobody tell you shit. Linking up in Miami. You and all them bad bitches. Now you got me on the run. There's a gun in the dash, please shoot if you have to. Been at for so long, don't know what's real more. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, knock you down, don't me know. It won't keep you, leave if you need to. She said, will you ride for me? Blessed if you die for me. Got me Kurt Cobain, I'm spinning now. She love it on the side of town. White girl for the red girl. Baby, don't you love me now? You say that you full grown. Don't give a fuck about a tombstone. Is this really the life you want? Understand this is a dark road. And now you got me on the run. There's a gun in the dash, please shoot if you have to. Been at it for so long, don't know what's real more. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, knock you down, don't me know. It won't keep you, leave if you need to. She said, will you ride for me? Blessed if you die for me.
Yeah, and that was Rez Coast Grizz. That was his song Rock and Roll. By far, one of my favorite songs by him. He was in RTU, Icon Radio, this week with 411. Shout out to Mr. Shields. Villain Gang Apparel, limited edition. Hit me up. Get your hands on some of these. Don't miss out. We're gonna end the show with our last subject, which is Would You Rather. Sauce, what is our Would You Rather topic?
Would you rather hunt and butcher your own meat or never eat meat again?
I'd hunt and butcher my own meat. I've done it before, and it doesn't mean nothing to me. I remember the last time that I actually did that. I shot a cow elk, and cow elks are bigger than regular elks, and I had to skin it. I had to cut meat from it, cut the bad meat from it, and all this other stuff. And nobody was really able to eat anything meat related after we did it. But I was like, fuck it, give me one of those steaks and I'll grill that shit up. I want to taste that shit, and it was slapping.
Oh, so yeah, so you're saying that when you killed it, you have to eat it right then and there on the first day?
No, you don't have to. I just wanted to.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's what I would do.
I thought that when you, like when you hunt, you find a way to preserve as much as you can.
How you
without
preserve
going
it is
spoiled.
trying to get it all cut and stuff like that within like 3 days. Like, you're gonna skin it, you're gonna end up cutting some meat off of it, but the meat is eventually gonna rot. So you're gonna have to cut around the rotting meat and get the good meat and put that away into the side. But you gotta be specific with what's what. And there's steaks. There's some of it that you can grind down. You can make cow elk bacon. You can off the ass cheeks. You can really do anything.
I guess that's a way for me to hunt and butcher my own meat.
It's a lot easier.
Because sadly, with the other option, going pure vegan, I got nothing.
You're
against it.
saving money, and you're only shooting a bullet that's worth like $1 or $2.
There's gonna be some people out there on Twitch right now who is probably getting cringe at us going full carnivore.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm starving. I love meat too. Like, I can't stand living a life without meat. If I lived a life without meat, I don't think I would be able to live a life.
I can't eat mashed potatoes without my try to.
Mashed potatoes so bad, bro. I love mashed potatoes. Like, mashed potatoes literally go with everything, even if it's just by itself. Like, I love mashed potatoes. Gravy is what makes it like the bee's knees too. What kind of gravy do you like?
To be honest with you, I don't mind eating gravy. I just don't do gravy. I mean, if I go to like a restaurant,
you don't even like drizzle it on your steak or nothing like that. You've never used it for anything else.
No, the only time I ever eat anything with gravy is with the mashed potatoes, and that's when I go to a restaurant, country style restaurant. But that's the extent of it.
Right.
What I like to do is that I just use the meat juice on my mashed potatoes.
The meat juice.
Yeah, like what I do is like
That's not bad. I mean, technically, that's a way actually to make gravy, is by getting all that extra juice and then like putting it in some and thickening it up and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, actually here's an interesting thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sit down with my mother and we're gonna try and make a healthy soup. But first, we're gonna get like some squash and some other ingredients. So,
No, that's interesting.
I'll try and talk to her and I'll see if I can try and save some and bring it here next time.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to try it. I'm not too much of a fan of squash, but I'll definitely try it.
No, there's other ingredients. It's not gonna be just squash.
You said squash, and I was like, ooh.
This is a recipe that my family has used to make puchero.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but definitely, yeah, I would hunt, and I've never gone hunting before. I would like to try these.
Oh yeah, we gotta go.
I've shot a hunting rifle before.
Yeah, shooting it and actually hunting is two different things.
Yeah.
Once you get into it, you gotta also consider like where you're shooting and stuff like that. Because
Headshots apparently a no-no.
I mean, they're not a no-no per se.
If you're one of those types that would like to make trophies.
I don't care about the trophy that much. Like I can use the skin and the pelt and shit like that to make something out of it if I really wanted to. So, I mean, it gets redundant after a while hunting and just constantly like going to the taxidermist just to stuff one of those things to put it on the wall. It seems very redundant to me.
Also, kind of. I mean, yeah, I can understand because, yeah, I mean, it's kind of awkward going into the house and every wall is lined.
Yeah, it's like, okay, am I gonna get murdered or like, what's gonna happen? All right, well, thank you all for joining us for episode 27.
Oh, make sure you remind
Episode 27. Get your hands on some of these shirts. Get them. We are out of here. Deuces.